guys, this is Sarah Ayler and Kristen Fagan here with our next installment of our live beading party. We have a fantastic guest today. His name is Sam Siegel, and he's from Sam's Bead Shop. And he has quite the following here on Facebook. He has a Facebook group, and it's been really interesting to learn all about his new business model. So welcome, Sam.
Thank you so much.
Welcome,
How are you?
Sam.
It's so good to more formally meet both of you today. This is very exciting for me.
It's good to see you too. It has popped up as a picture now rather than your video, just so you know.
Okay, one
so
second.
You may want to switch to video mode when you get an opportunity.
Alrighty.
So Sam is here in the Bay Area, just like Softlex Company, and he sells Softlex along with a bunch of other curated items that he hand picks himself. And he launches about 50 new items a week for sale. That could include gemstones and Czech Glass and maybe just a few findings at a time. But it's been really interesting to see all the different things that he is selling. And Kristen and I got a little care package from him that we'll be sharing with you today. And we will each be making a project with some of Sam's beads and our Softlex beading wire today.
Thank you so much for the intro.
Lovely to meet you.
Yay. Kristen, if you want to switch to gallery view on your end just for a moment so they could see, because I think that's the only way they'll see my face just for right now.
I do have it set as gallery mode. It sometimes takes a moment.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, actually, I haven't pulled up the stream yet. I want to see the stream so I can follow along.
See what's going on. What it is it's, I guess the way I was seeing is it was picking up just your hands because that's where your volume is, I bet.
Yep, because we just switched the audio to my...
Right, but everyone else can see you. It was me, not you. So, Sam, how'd you get started in beading?
Yeah, I mean, it started years back. 2012, I found some it all started with some gold tone buttons I found at a depot type place and just started selling those. Literally basically one item. And they just, people loved them and just sold a ton of buttons.
How old were you when you sold these buttons?
I believe I was 13 when I started this business.
If you don't mind my asking.
No, I'm not ashamed of, I think I get to say that I'm your youngest guest that
ever.
Maybe you've ever hosted.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Sure. Yeah. I'm out of college right now. So it's been a few years since then. And now I'm running the company full time and we've just been growing it and doing all sorts of fun events in my group. We do a weekly class, a lot of wire work. We've done also stringing and it brings the community together every week and then people share what they make in our social group called the Gem Chat. It's just a lot of fun. And
Facebook groups are so amazing right now for connecting people. I'm sure it's in other industries. I mean, I'm more involved in the beading Facebook groups.
Right.
But man, I don't know what I would do if we didn't have a Facebook group right now be able to just interact with people that have a similar hobby. I'm sure there's knitting groups and I imagine there's just tons of people out there that feel that way about their, specific hobby. So
it's been really great to see, especially how much the community has built during quarantine. And we've just been doing more and more to actually, and I run it along with a lovely woman named Shira. She runs the group, and we hosted our first basically beading party where every single person who wants to join from the group can hop on the Zoom all together. It's not live streamed or anything, and we're just creating together because it was just we were meeting each other in the group, but then we were like, why can't we also just meet each other face to face and actually
where
make
we can
together?
All talk.
Ask questions. It turned out the first one was so much fun, and we're planning another one for the end of the month. And I think the beading community is just a lovely group of people to be in. So
I think I'm going to be doing one of your classes. I offered to do a class for you sometime.
Awesome.
I don't remember when. I'll probably have to get it on my calendar.
We'll have to book you officially. We got the Sarah joining us. That's exciting.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I'm happy to help out. Anywhere I can get more people beading, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
So,
and just to finish, if I may just finish the intro, because I thought you said it so well. Sarah was saying that I post new items every week, and those go to I have a Facebook group called Sam's Bead Shop VIP. So if you're a member of there, that's where the items go first, and then before they go to the website. So people like to come on and log on all at the same time each Sunday. It's called New Bead Sunday, and just see what's new. It's very fun.
That's awesome. So they get a bird's eye view.
Oh yeah.
Sam's Bead Shop VIP, is that what you said?
Yeah, I can try to comment it now.
I was going to pull it up. That's why I was asking. So I'm going to go see if I can find. But I'm not a member, so maybe I can't find it. It might be.
I might be able to tag. I have it saved on my clipboard, so let's see.
We'll get a link up for it.
Yeah, I just put a link.
Yeah, while you find the link, I've got a lot of people here already. We've got 75 people on with us at the moment. Hi, everybody. Great to see you.
You had to say a number and make him nervous, Kristen. You just had to.
Sam. But a lot of people know you on here already, Sam. I'm seeing really nice comments. Hi again. Yes, hello. Hello, everybody again. Sarah and I are back online. Let's see what we got here. Hi, Deb and Emily and Anna. Anna just looked all over your beautiful gemstones on your website. Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Happy to see it.
I hope you awesome. I'm excited to see
Nile is here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nile from Silver Silk is here. Kathy says Sam has a great selection of gemstones. I love his Sunday releases at 2 p.m. every week. Is that 2 p.m. Pacific time?
2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, every single Sunday. Basically, without fail, you could come find some new beads.
Wonderful.
And I hear you have a really good eye for beads, and I can see that that's definitely the case by looking at what you sent me. I'm very excited to show everyone what was in my little package.
Yeah, what did Kristen, I send you?
You have your things ready too.
Yeah, I was wondering if we got the same stuff or if we got different things. I'm guessing we got different things.
2 different packages. Yeah, I got to pick who got what.
So you had a sneak peek. You were the VIP.
Yeah, I sent you I think a blues, right? Was it blues and greens maybe?
A blue, yes, a blue and a purple. So 2 really, and I love.
And then I selfishly took some of the yellow beads.
Oh.
Yeah, you had texted me. You texted me about your Pantone idea, and I was like, okay, we got to get the yellows probably to Sarah and see what you can do with this.
Can we do something in yellow? I've really been wanting to use yellow.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's
so
an
Emily is
color.
asking. Emily is asking where you're located, Sam. I'm not even sure. So.
Oh, sure.
So I'm
not far from Sarah. We're both in the Bay Area. I live in Oakland. I live in Berkeley, and my office is in Oakland. And so we ship everything out of this office here. This is the whole shop. This little cube behind me is the whole shop.
Looks good. Looks organized.
We try to stay organized. We got a lot to keep track of.
That can be tricky.
That looks great. Okay, a few other people have shared your group link as well. I see you shared it, Sam. Thank you. So you guys can check him out over there and get on that VIP list for your before they go live on the website. First ever beading class. Welcome.
Is that Rachel commenting on the beading board I'm using? She's always telling me, Rachel's a good friend of mine who leads the weekly class with me, and she's always telling me to get in these beading boards. This is my bracelet board.
She is.
It's
She's
handy,
telling you need to carry that. It looks really nice. Rachel. Yeah, I like.
I mean,
is that considered like a a bracelet board because it's kind of shorter. I like it.
Yeah, it's about 9 inches, so it works great for bracelets.
All right. Well, Sarah, what do you have over there?
All right. I was sent these gorgeous Czech beads. Are these beads all available in your shop right now, Sam?
It'll depend on the item. I remember I got tons of those yellow flowers in.
They're so pretty. So I got these gorgeous yellow flowers, which I immediately gravitated towards when I saw the picture. I had a really nice, it's kind of like a brown, maybe like an antique brass color of a fire polished bead. That's really going to add a lot of sparkle and really beautiful. And then 2 strands of mookaite, right? This is mookaite, yep. It looks like, which is Australian jasper and has that really fun mixture of kind of like a red jasper and a yellow, like a mustard yellow. And then even has some beautiful pinks. Look at how much these guys sparkle.
Yeah, and I'm obsessed with the faceting on those. And you actually really got those.
I was going to say, yeah. The faceting is really cool. I love the shape. It's like a cube, but it's with the facets, it's a little softer.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And you actually, Sarah, you're the one to get those. I was planning to post those this Sunday, so you're number 1 right now.
Ooh, well, I like that.
So, be on the lookout, everybody. So those will be coming on Sunday.
Yep.
And then we've got some large ones too that have some really interesting faceting. Look, it's faceting around the center, almost like a turbine.
So this is I got the same strand out actually because I love them so much.
They're really pretty.
It's the Art Deco cut in the shop, which I have in a whole bunch of stones, and lots more coming up in the next couple of weeks. I think the shape is so unique.
It's so pretty. I like how they even put a seed bead between the beads so you can really see each of those beads. Sometimes it's hard with a strand of gemstones to visualize how each bead looks if it doesn't have like that little bit of separation. So it's really smart whoever put the strand together to give that little bit of space. And then it keeps the beads from rubbing together too.
Yeah, I like that too.
This is the kind of strand you could literally just pull it off of the thread and string it on some soft flex, and you've got your design with the little seed bead in between.
Yeah. That'd be an incredibly premium piece using those with the soft flex wire. That would be stunning.
Yeah, you don't really need to even do anything to it. But I'm going to take it apart and put all 4 of these together into probably a necklace or a bracelet. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to use the Softlex Metallics in the antique brass. So this is one of our metallic colors. It comes in brass or copper. If you're not familiar with Softlex, if you're brand new to our product, it's 49 strands of stainless steel braided together. And then those little itty bitty strands that are all braided together are coated in a color nylon coating. And the color is right in the nylon, so it always stays that color. So underneath here, this is a stainless steel color, but because of the nylon coating being an antique brass color, it looks more like it is antique brass. It's very flexible. It can be tied into a knot without losing any strength where it's knotted. And it just works incredibly well for bead stringing. But you can also use it in lots of other ways if you want to incorporate color into your design. I had a couple of designs I did just yesterday and this morning that I was going to show you real fast. If you wanted to incorporate in more color, you can do things like this where you crimp beads in place on the wire and expose the color as part of the design. This was on yesterday's Facebook Live. So if you want to see instructions for it, we've got it in our video stash. And I made a pair of earrings to match it in our reels on Instagram. So you can find this project on the Softlex Company Insta page. Just by crimping and then allowing the wire to be part of that design. You can even see it sort of peeking through that clear crystal there. which is really super fun. The wire will also add color to your design if you do have a light colored bead like this, like a rose quartz bead, for example, we were talking about yesterday. It'll darken that bead and make it just a little bit more pink than it might naturally look. And then this morning I used the fluorite color to make this bracelet here and these earrings. So if you are a follower of Sam's bead shop and you're buying beads and you're buying soft flex from him, these are some of the ideas that you can do to make something kind of unique and special using both soft flex and the beads.
Absolutely. I pulled up one project I did with soft flex recently.
Let's see.
I made this double strand bracelet using
that's gorgeous.
I believe this was porcelain jasper. And I just basically became a total bead soup because I just got to put on literally whatever I wanted from my stash. And then
that's awesome. I love how asymmetrical it is.
Yeah, I wanted to see the other side. Hold it up one more time.
Yeah. So this side has just the little cluster that'll hang down your wrist. And then I have the stones on one side and then the double strands on the other side of the bracelet, essentially.
That looks great,
so
Sam.
Unique. Really, really pretty.
Yeah, I had a whole phase with these. I made that with I was trying to find my lapis one I had made because the soft flex is so perfect for that sort of double strand project, and it feels incredibly durable
and flexible at the same time, which is really nice. Kristen, why don't you show us what you've got, and I'll start taking apart and putting something together here.
Yeah, I also wanted to just kind of catch up on. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can.
Yeah. I just wanted to catch up on some comments too, so I'll do that. So James is asking if we can put it back on the multi-screen. The only thing with the multi-screen is once we get going, you're not going to be able to see what we're doing. So that's why we kind of like it on the speaker, so it pops up and you can see what everyone's doing. All right, lovely bracelet, beautiful bracelet, Sam. Love those flower beads. Got Kathy loves soft flex. It's her go-to stringing wire. She will never go back. And addicted to the Art Deco cut. Yeah, they are really, really pretty. So while I've got the camera on my screen while I'm talking here, I'll show you what I got in my package from Sam's Bead Shop. Got these really beautiful, I think these are tiger's eye possibly.
Yeah, that's literally, that's brand new in the shop. That's dyed blue tiger eye. And I got that. You can get that. Yeah, you get that in 4mm through 10mm in the shop right now.
I'm thinking this is probably an 8mm that I'm holding here. It feels like.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe 10mm, but gorgeous, so pretty. And then I also got this amazing strand of amethyst, and this is that star cut.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite items on the site. That's
so pretty.
That's the micro-faceted star cut.
You know, this is my first star cut. I've never had a star cut in my hands to play with, and yeah, I'm excited. I think I'll probably end up working with that one. And then, like, Sarah got the antique brass of these 4mm beads. These are what, fire polish, are they? Czech Glass faceted. Yeah, silver. And I got the silver. They are really beautiful. It's just perfect. I can see this in like a gazillion different things. And I love this shape. This is like a little quiche kind of strand of silver beads. And I'm definitely using this.
Yeah,
totally love it.
That's another one that you actually are getting before this Sunday, because I have that in gold on the site, but the silver's actually not even posted yet. So you are also number one with that item. So I'm
Yay,
really
so I've got a
that.
sneak peek for you guys. This will be coming on Sunday, and Sarah's got a sneak peek for you guys. And that was the Mookite, right? Is that the one that was the sneak peek for you?
Yeah, the Mookite cubes.
I think so.
It's gonna be a fun Sunday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy Sunday, I bet.
Love the blue. Oh my, James is love. I know, James, you love Tiger's Eye, right? So is this the one you're talking about? I mean, this is just, it's really stunning. And then I pulled out some soft Lex. I've got the dark blue lapis to go with this guy here, because I wasn't sure what I was going to be creating with. So I pulled out this one, which that matches really nice. And then I also have some purple amethyst, which I'm getting low on my spool to go with this guy. And then I also have some black, just in case I wanted to kind of go with a nice.
You know, it's a busy week when Kristen hasn't prepared her design ahead of time. This is kind of unusual, right, Kristen?
I do usually like to have an idea of what I'm doing, yes. I might not have it all worked out, but I'm totally coming to this blind right now. And I see you are getting going, Sarah, so we should probably let you talk for a little while and see what you're working on over there.
All right. Well, I'm just stringing some beads, so it's not super exciting, but I just broke up the 4 strands. I feel like it's a really interesting combination to put all 4 together, and I wanted to see how it's going to turn out. I also know that some of the folks in Sam's Bead Shop may not do a whole lot of stringing and crimping. And so I wanted to do just kind of a basic bracelet just to make sure anyone who is brand new to beading gets that, very good step-by-step instruction on crimping. And we'll start there and then see where it goes after that. So I'm going to grab out a bead stopper. Pretty sure I have one here. So if you've never used a bead stopper before, they're the handiest little tool around. They open up just by clipping the 2 ends, and you just clip it on your wire, and it makes sure that your beads don't spill off the wire and gives you that opportunity to try things on and make sure that they're a good fit and that you like how they look, and make sure that they're the right size. This is looking pretty good for size. I'm using a smaller sized tiara cast clasp, and I think this is probably pretty perfect. Once I get that clasp on there too, it'll feel pretty good. So I'm using the Maker's clasp from Tiara Cast. I'm going to use it in a brass color so it matches my brass soft flex. I love how this bright pop of yellow is looking with the Mookite. And it's nice when you've got a nice big long 2 strands of it, because you can kind of break up the colors and work with them so that they make sense in your design. Because stones obviously are little works of Mother Nature's art. And so each one is unique and different, but you can find some that are kind of similar in their own way, whether it's color or sometimes it's a mixture of colors. And I still have all these other beads left. So if I wanted to continue on with this idea, I could move through making a necklace and earrings as well with just these 4 items that Sam sent me, which is really great. So I'm going to start off by crimping one end. I usually string right onto my spool. That helps me to save some wire by not cutting it off. I can make it the right size and then just cut off what I need. So I can unclip this now that I know it's the right size. And I'm going to grab out a 2x2 millimeter Softlex crimp tube. So there are very few things more important in jewelry making when you're bead stringing than your crimp tube. Even though it's very small, it's very important for holding your entire piece together. And when there is any wear and tear on your design, it's usually where that crimp is, because that's the connection and that's the place where it's most likely to break. So make sure you're using good quality crimp tubes. Softflex goes the extra mile, and we make sure our crimp tubes are seamless, solid tubing. And we also work with the company that we manufacture with to make sure that the wall thickness is just a little bit thicker than what you might find on the open market. So it gives you a little more metal around the crimp. So when you're crimping, it has a little bit more of an ability to grab onto the nylon coating of the wire. So I've got my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. I'm going to string my clasp and then go back into my crimp tube and bring that crimp up close to the clasp. I'm going to fold over. You can see it was crisscrossing. I'm just going to fold this wire over so it's side by side inside the crimp tube. Not so much that the crimp won't hold if it's crisscrossed like this, but it gives you a straighter connection if you can get those wires side by side inside of the crimp tube. And that'll give you a nice, strong, straight connection when you go to crimp it. I'm using magical crimping pliers today. If you watch my show, I use these all the time. They're my favorite tool. They take this crimp tube and make it into a little round metal bead that is going to hold this clasp onto the wire and make my connection super strong, but also super nice and very lovely. I also leave enough space that this clasp can wiggle around. This little loop here should never be so tight that your clasp is taut. You want it to be just a little bit loose so that it has that wiggle room to feel natural. Now I'm going to take my crimping pliers and I'm going to center the crimp tube inside of my magical crimper, and then I'm going to compress. What should happen first is I should get a little four-corner, sort of like a ravioli looking deal, or a square, and then I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to compress those four corners in. And I'm just going to go around and around it, compressing in the edge of the crimp tube, making it into a round bead and giving me a really strong connection. And then at the end, you always want to give it a good tug. Make sure that crimp is on there really well, and you have a good strong connector there. And then I'm going to take my cutters with the flat side toward the crimp to get in as close to that crimp as possible and just trim off my wire. And then all I have to do is, let me move these beads up. All I have to do is push my beads down to the end, and I can finish off my bracelet by adding the toggle bar on the other side as well. So now I know about how much wire I need. I just need to leave maybe 2 inches down here at the end. Grab a second 2x2 millimeter crimp tube and add my toggle bar. These are some beautiful beads, Sam.
Yeah, I love the combination you have there. And I was just thinking, I haven't actually ever used the magic crimper. I'm still using the same standard
regular ones. They're great crimper too. Yeah, I use those often too. I do a lot of crimping, obviously, with Softflex. So there are times where I love the regular crimping pliers, especially if I'm going to add a crimp cover because I want it to be a little bit more present in the design. And then there's times where I like the magical crimpers and I just go for those instead. So on the tail end of your bracelet, you want to look at a couple things. You do your little loops match on either side so that they look uniform. You want to make sure that you're crimping it so that the crimp is next to the bead when you have it folded in a circle. So if you do it straight and you get it as tight to that bead as possible, then you're not going to have a lot of flexibility in your design after it's crimped. So a lot of times I will actually even hold this up and crimp it, holding it in a circle so that I can make sure I don't lose that flexibility. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to get that wire as straight as I can in there. so that I get a nice straight connection. And it can be a little tricky because you only have 2 hands and you need a third hand, but you can do it. And then compress and go around that crimp again, tightening it down. Now you'll see I have a little bit of space between my last bead and my clasp. I should. That's good. It gives the bracelet room to wiggle around when it's in a circle. It shouldn't be super, super tight. And if you find that that space is growing a lot and you're seeing a lot of stretch, then you may need to put your beads on your wire and let the wire settle before doing your crimping. But I don't usually find that happens to me so much. And then I've got my bracelet all done.
Sarah, that might be the fastest bracelet I've ever seen someone make.
I've had a lot of practice.
I feel like I looked away for 1 second and then Sarah's wearing a bracelet.
I've had a lot of practice over my 21-year career at Softlex. I could probably make this in my sleep.
I love that. If I may, I want to show a little bit of what I've got going here.
Yeah, great.
So I'm also using the Art Deco Mookaite that Sarah used in her bracelet. I went a slightly different direction in maintaining, and all the beads that I'm using here are also 10 millimeter diameter, just to maintain that style. My idea here is I was going to pair it with the copper dove charms from the shop. I don't know if you can quite see that. These are made, these are made in Greece and have been a huge favorite in the shop.
They're really cool.
I just posted the restock of those in case anyone wanted it. I think they're so beautiful. I'm gonna use this as the centerpiece.
What are they made of again?
It's a copper plate over a base metal mix.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I just have a hammered toggle also from the shop that I'm going to finish it off with.
Ooh, pretty. Yeah, I like seeing the Mookaite the way that you're showing it too. Like the more natural, where all the colors are intermixed, looks really good.
Yeah, I tried to keep with the natural pattern that I think is just so cool about the stone. I like how you pulled out the yellow to kind of go with the more Pantone idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think more monochromatic with the flowers is beautiful.
Yeah, a little bit of both. That's good. What do you got going on over there, Miss Kristen?
Yeah, I've been kind of quiet because I'm trying to catch up with these comments and share some links. So sorry about that. But I am working on creating, I'm not sure, I think a necklace, because I feel like this is going to go for a little while. And I like how these little spacer beads can be either, on the strand as a spacer bead, or you can flip it on its side and connect it with Softlex. And so I'm making these little connections in the middle of like a 3D section going on.
Oh, those
here.
stacks are so awesome.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really fun. I'm just going to kind of keep going and connecting. Magical crimping pliers, some people are asking about. I have people on here asking where to get the beads. We're looking at beads from Sam's Bead Shop, and I think it's just samsbeadshop.com. Do I have that right, Sam?
You are correct. Yeah, that'll take you, if you type that in, that'll take you to the right place. And then if you're curious about some of these beads, just like search Mookaite and all the Mookaite will pop up. Or search Dove and that'll pop up for you.
Yeah, the Dove is really pretty. And I kind of missed what you were saying about, were you talking about those spacers you got in between the Mookaite as well? Is that something you were sharing with us before?
Yeah, I was talking about how I'm using all 10 millimeter beads to match the 10 millimeter Mookaite. These spacers I just grabbed from my stash. So these ones aren't in my shop. I was trying to think what. Yeah, so I was commenting that the Dove pendant this is a feature in my shop that I'm going to use in the piece.
Yes, I love that. And you got a few people saying that too. Yeah, a lot of fun. So I'm going to get to my next little section here, and then I'll show you guys how I make this little connector.
Okay, what color of soft flex did you opt for, Kristen?
Purple amethyst, of course. So, and that was sort of, I just started stringing it. Yeah, I just started stringing it, and I was going to just string the beads, and then that's when I decided, well, I have to show the wire a little bit peeking through. So that's why I decided to make them into little connections instead, so you can see a little bit of the wire. Just kind of play. I think it'll have a fun feel to it when it's done too. Almost like putting together wire work pieces, but instead of doing a wire connection, doing a soft flex connection.
I would love to see how you do those connections.
You've got it. All right, so I'm up to this part here where I'm going to add a connection. So, so I've got on here my little crimp bead or crimp tube that now looks like a bead from the magical crimpers. And then 3 of those spacers, a star cut amethyst, 3 spacers, star cut, 3 spacers, star cut, 3 more spacers, and then a crimp tube right at the end. So now I'm going to add 1 more spacer, but I'm not going to string it directly on. I'm going to loop the wire back around it and into the crimp, like if you were adding it to a clasp or an ear wire kind of connection. I'm going to just scoot that down so I get my crimp close to my beads here. And then I'm going to use my magical crimper to give that crimp tube a little squeeze, turn it, and then I rotate it around a few times in that notch. This crimper is funny where it's just got 1 notch. It's like a half circle on each side. So you really want that crimp to sit right in the center, and then it'll make a nice little bead. Trim off the excess wire, and now you have that connected there. And then I'm going to grab another piece of soft flex. I'm just kind of trimming, I don't know, about 4 inches or so. And then I'm going to go back into that same spacer, just like that. So I'm connecting the 2 together. You're going to add another crimp, make a loop, and then once again, I'm just going to crimp that closed with the magical crimper so it turns my tube into a sweet little bead. Trim off the wire, and then I'm going to repeat this pattern. So I basically just made myself like a little head pin there.
That's awesome, Kristen. It looks great.
Yeah, Kristen, I had no idea that you could do that with soft flex. I think thanks so much for showing that.
Yeah, we are all about soft flex connections today. I feel like that's been my theme of the day.
Yeah, I know.
I learned this, of course, from my my intelligent friend Sarah over there. She's done this before in past designs, and it's really fun to see all the different ways you can do that. I actually have some examples here where we just do that the entire way, is you just keep making these connections and it makes like its own chain. So it's pretty cool.
I wonder if
thank you for the nice compliment.
How many colors
What were you
of
going to
soft
say, Sam?
flex? How many colors of soft flex wire are there? Can you name off the top of your head?
Right now there are 19, and I probably could if I really tried.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've got citrine, white quartz, black onyx, peridot, red jasper, chrysoprase, green emerald, purple amethyst, green turquoise, garnet, spinel, yellow, lemon quartz. What am I forgetting? Oh, there's so many. Antique brass, copper, satin silver. But in the meantime, while Kristen's working on that, I was working on an earring, and I'll show you guys how to put that together. I said earlier today when we were on with Jesse James Beads at 8 a.m. this morning, I can't let it go. I have to make a pair of things. I just have a hard time making just a bracelet and not making earrings, or just a necklace and not making a bracelet. So I decided, since I have the beads out, I should go ahead and make an earring as well. So I'm going to show you how to make this one real quick and easy. So I just strung my beads onto the wire, and I did a really easy pattern here with the fire polish, Czech Glass, a little mookaite, another fire polish. I'm just in love with these yellow Czech Glass beads. I think they're so beautiful, and it's just such a perfect color. So if you get the opportunity to grab some of these from Sam, you definitely should. They're just as pretty in person as they may be looking on the screen. They're really, really gorgeous and just really detailed. So I got distracted by the yellow Czech Glass bead that's in the center, and then the fire polish bead, the little mookaite cube, and then one more fire polish bead. Now I'm going to take both ends of my wire. I probably have about 6 inches of wire here. I'm going to take both ends, bring them together, and string a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube again. And then I'm going to take one end and I'm going to string it back through the top of that crimp tube. So you can pass our 019 Softflex beading wire through these 2x2 crimp tubes 3 times. And that allows you to make a little loop at the top that you'll be able to connect with your earring finding. And so what's left to do is to make these look similar in size. And you can do that by pulling either on this bottom wire to make the top smaller, or on this top wire to make the bottom smaller. So I see I need to make the bottom smaller, so I just hold on to the crimp and I just do a little tug on this top wire, and that'll bring that bottom one up. And then I need to make the top just a little smaller. So now I'm just going to hold on to my crimp and just pull a little bit on the top, and it made it a little too small. So now I can just push it up just a little bit. You kind of just tug back and forth until you get 2 pieces that look pretty similar. If you want to, you can get out the tape measure and do some measurements to make sure that they're similar. I like to just eye things out, and maybe they're not perfect, but they will be good enough for me. Now I'm just going to do the same thing I did before with the crimping plier, my magical crimping pliers. Center that crimp tube inside of the plier and compress, and then come in and compress, and then just go around and around it. You want to make sure your crimp tubes look pretty good on an earring, because this is definitely a place where they're going to show up and be part of the design. Whereas on like a bracelet or a necklace, it won't matter as much as long as it's holding. You don't see them, so it's not quite as important. But on an earring, take the time to like really make that round bead look good, because everyone's going to be able to see it. I'm just trimming off the extra wire on both ends of the crimp tube. So I've got my earring shape, and then all I have to do is open up my ear wire to the side and slide my earring in, and then I can close it up, and I've got my cute little matching pair of earrings to go with my bracelet. And if you give me a lot more time, I'll probably end up making a necklace at this point.
Sure, those earrings are just those are amazing.
Oh, thank you. This is a great way to expose soft flex in your design in an earring. They're really, really fun. It makes the earrings feel like a nice size, but they're still really light and they feel really good. And then, of course, the ones that I showed you earlier, there's lots of different shape options that you can do too, in different colors, just changing out the beads. I could do like a really pretty yellow bead in the center and then have the antique brass wire be a circle. That would be super cute. And this is similar. The wire is just doubled up. So it gives you just a little more wire running around the outside. It makes it look just a little more substantial. But I could see doing this same type of design too with one of those yellow flowers in the center and then maybe some of the mukite or the beautiful fire polish to accentuate it.
So pretty. I love how the flowers have that bright yellow, but then the mukite really helps tone it down a little bit and give it like an earthy feel.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the perfect kind of design for someone who wants to get on the yellow bandwagon for the Pantone color of the year, but they're still like, I don't know about yellow. Like just a little pop of it can be really, really nice. So happy. Such a happy color. So what do you guys have going on? Anything new we should take a look at?
Yeah, so I just added on my crimp using my good old standard crimping pliers, and
Perfect.
got my. So I'm using the sterling crimps from Softlex, which are the only crimp I sell in my shop because I'm so glad you offer the double walled. You can always trust them to last. And then I also have a Softlex copper crimp cover over there. And
Beautiful.
now I'm just gonna get both of these threads back through my first beads on this side.
So
I did test this.
After you were selling the buttons, I'm super curious, what made you decide to go into like a full online bead store?
Yeah, I mean, it started with when the stash groups were taking off around the same time. I joined those, and they're just a lot of fun, and that's where I initially started selling beads. And just as I started to meet more and more cutters and manufacturers and suppliers, just kind of slowly figure out where I can get cool stuff, and that's basically how I view my business. It's just I'm curating like my favorite things. That's how I would sum it up. Because I know that because I know the things that I'll like are the things that often people will respond to. So I try not to get. You'll see that there's less than 1,000 items options of beads on my site, which for a bead store is like would sound like basically nothing, except that every week I'm bringing in 30 to 50 new items. So you always will come and find something to add to your collection. And I hope even if it's just you come and find one thing, then it's that one item that inspires you to get out a box of beads that you haven't opened in a decade and put them together. And then I think I have my job well done.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like a really neat business model, I think, because I do find some bead store owners get weighed down with the amount of inventory. So it sounds like you're working through your inventory and always finding new things to share with your customers, and that keeps them excited and they get to see fresh new things on a regular basis.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Is fun.
And I do understand you often do want to be able to get more of an item. And I hear that.
Hard.
So if I am able to restock it, I will certainly like send me an email, or on the website you'll see a waitlist functionality if you join that list, I see that. And then when I go to do my reordering, I really do my best to get items back in for people so that they can get their hands on some more.
So if something's super popular, you try to carry it again to make sure that they can restock if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's in those weekly releases, I always notice there's like maybe 3 to 5 items that are just like, you can tell that like people are really liking that week, and that'll often become something I'll then just regularly carry.
It sounds like you're really customer focused too, which I think is really great. I love to see that.
Yeah,
wow,
I do my best.
Great, Sam.
Yeah, here's where I'm at. Here, let me get my phone to stop shaking. There we go.
It happens. It's
see,
looking great.
Thanks so much.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like it.
So good.
So you'll see that basically everything I make is in antiqued copper because I just think it's the most stunning metal finish. I know others love their sterling, but this has always been my style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way about antique brass.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a brassy girl, so I get it.
Mookaite is one of those stones that I think a female or a male could wear too. It's such a nice combination of colors, depending on how you present it. Like, I feel like that could be a very masculine design that you're making.
Absolutely.
That I could see one of my coworkers wearing. Very nice.
Oh, James is totally shopping right now. Monica
James
is
Browning?
asking Sam. Yes.
What?
I know. Monica's asking Sam, have you told us what beads you're using? I think he's using the Mookaite like Sarah has, right? You're using the same strand, and then I don't know what else you've got over there, the dove. And
maybe go over the beads again, just one more time.
Oh, totally happy to.
Yeah.
So the main bead that I have here is the 10 millimeter Mookaite. And then before I get into other things, the things I have from the shop are then basically the faux hammered toggle. And the dove pendant I'm about to just attach. I just grabbed a jump ring. I'm just about to attach that. That's also an antique copper. And I've also carried this in silver, which I definitely think I need to get more of because these I never can keep these in stock. And then the other things I just grabbed from my stash is I found these 10 millimeter to match the Mookaite.
Those are like the potato chip beads or something.
Yeah,
that's what Kay calls
I've had
them.
these for years, so I could not tell you where they're from, but I figured I might as well use those today. And then I love Czech Glass. You'll see that basically half my site is Czech Glass. So even before I started selling it, my collection of Czech Glass was huge. So these are a 10 millimeter English cut, which is the shape that features the large facets. And while you might not find this exact color on my site, if you go to the English cut section, click Czech Glass, and then click English cut, you'll find some other options there. And I've always been a fan of this larger size because just look how well it complements with the other beads with the large faceting.
Gosh, it's looking great.
It's really a beautiful combination. Really well put together.
Thanks so much. You guys inspired me to do some stringing today. I'm glad you guys got me going today.
See, you can't help but want to start beading when friends are beading, right? I mean, you just got to keep going.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if I just followed my instincts, I would just be wire wrapping all day. So I'm really glad you broke me out of my normalcy. I'm going to show you some earrings that I made this week. This was the class from last Saturday. Also we're focusing on using various Greek beads. And so what you'll see here are the Greek donuts. And then the amazing Rachel Malice, I think is with us today, showed how to wrap onto the donuts. And then I used some little lapis, also Art Deco cut, the same cut that Sarah and I used today.
Those are beautiful. That's really, really lovely. I'm really in love with this Greek metal stuff that you're showing. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's more, it's just more unique than some of the other stuff you'll see out of China. So there's a whole line of green patina stuff. So these are this green patina sand dollars.
Those are awesome.
Stunning. I really love the earrings that you just showed that you did. I wouldn't have thought to put the antique copper with the with that blue, and it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, blue and brown has always been one of my favorites. And I think with a connector like these have 3 holes at the bottom. Like they make the normal go-to would be an earring, but you could totally go grab. Let's see, what color are we thinking of soft flex with the
green turquoise?
Yeah, totally. And then there's 3 holes. You could go easily for a 3-strand necklace as these.
And make those into connectors. Yeah, that's a really smart idea. I would love to see that. Very cool. Well, I'm excited to complete the video so that I can go look at your website. It sounds like a lot of nice stuff there to take a look at. And it sounds like one of my coworkers is already shopping away.
Yeah, he is.
That is so funny.
We here at Softlex love beads too.
Yeah, we do. Yes.
Oh, and I get because when I do my ordering for the shop from Softlex, it could be very distracting seeing the beads on your site because there is some pretty stuff there.
Thank you. Yes, Mike has quite the eye for gemstones, so there are some really nice pieces on there for sure. Kristen, let's see what you did. I feel like you finished a while ago, but we haven't gotten to look at it.
Yeah, so I ended up just deciding to make it into a bracelet. So here's what it ended up being. So it's got these 3 connections with the little spacers in between, putting them together. And then it's just finished off with the maker toggle from Tiara Cast as well. And you can actually wear this toggle 2 different ways. You can wear it with the flat side, or you can wear it with the hammered side. So I thought that ended up coming out pretty nice. It's very light and comfortable, and yeah, I dig it. Thanks for the beads, Sam.
It looks really good. And again, I think if you changed out the purple for a different color, that again could be a design that a man or a woman could wear very easily. Like if you were to make it black beads.
Yeah, if I use the black wire instead, I definitely think that could be a very manly design. Very cool.
It could go either way. I think that those metal beads really help with that. They can definitely go either way. Yeah, that looks really good. You did a good job, Kristen. Good job, beautiful. Sam.
And
see, no reason to be nervous, right?
There's always, so I come from the performing world. I've been studying at Juilliard in opera performance of all things. So, there's just always, anytime I get in front of an audience, there's just a natural energy that you get. Oh yeah. And no, I don't feel bad or anything, but you get energy when you're talking to people, and when there's a whole different feel to it.
It's exciting for sure.
No, but this has been, you two have been lovely to bead with today.
Anytime.
That is a school that my younger son would like to check out. So very, very cool. I'm sure you had a neat experience over there.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a lot of work, but it was good. Before we sign off, I just pasted a link so anyone watching this can get $10 of free beads with their first order. So just if you go ahead to the link, you just join the email list and you get the code, and then you get $10 of free beads. So I don't think anyone ever complains about free beads.
No, never.
More beads.
Hopefully James didn't put his order in already.
yeah, hopefully he's still looking.
Get your code, James.
We got him covered.
And also, if we haven't already, please link to your Facebook group, because we really want to make sure that our friends here that enjoy our Softlex projects can go over and check out what everyone is doing there, and then see your Sunday new products every week.
Absolutely.
And see what's going on. And
yeah,
it's just
when you're
one more place we can all connect.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're actually on that link with the $10 off page, there's a place to put in a phone number, and that's like what I always recommend to people if you do not want to miss or forget about the weekly sale or the weekly class. I shoot a quick text before each of those. So just if you put, nice. So it's just you'll get a quick text, and if you aren't available that day, ignore the text. But if you are, then I hope you'll come join us because it's a lot of fun.
Reminder.
Yeah.
Especially since really everyone's got their phone with them.
Yeah.
Helpful.
Awesome. So many fun people watching with us. Thank you guys all for joining us today. It was lovely to meet you, Sam, and get to know you a little bit better and get to play with your amazing products. And I know there's a lot more on there for everyone to check out and enjoy.
Yeah, this has been a blast. I am super inspired by the color. I've never used, I've always used satin silver Softlex as my go-to. So now I don't have an excuse now not to try out the color ones. And now I gotta somehow pick between your 19 colors, which I need to bring into the shop. It's gonna be a horrible decision for me. So thanks for that.
Well, we do have a copper color. Maybe that should be one of your first ones.
A good place to start, yeah.
I'm going to do that. That's a great idea.
The brass and copper. I think that's a great place to start. Well, thank you for being here today with us, Sam. And I'm looking forward to visiting your group and doing a class as well. And let's get that on the calendar. And we will be talking soon, okay?
Sounds great.
All right, so you can find Kristen and I on softlexcompany.com, and Kristen will be back next week, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube Live, and I will be right here on Facebook next Wednesday. Our next live sale was moved from the 19th, I believe, out to the 26th because we were a little short-handed this week. And so it will be a week later than we expected. If you didn't hear that earlier today or yesterday, make sure your calendars are marked. It is going to be our only live sale until March. And so it's going to be a big one. We're going to have some great items from Green Girl Studios. We are going to have and some really good ones that Cynthia said the big retailers don't sell. So we've got some really good stuff coming in. We're going to have some new gemstones. And lots of good stuff.
Sneak peek.
Kristen took a sneak peek and she bought some of them before you can see them. So.
Just so I seem to always miss what I want on the live sale. Can anyone relate? I'm sure you can.
Purchased.
I'm always being told, nope, sorry, they're gone.
Yeah.
So this time I got a little preview. I couldn't help myself. And
took advantage. It's a perk of working here. We get first dibs on our limited supply items, right?
Yeah, so, I try to be good and let you guys have most of the first dibs, but occasionally I have to break it.
I mean, with Green Girl Studios, you literally, I don't know how
can't go wrong.
Pass that up.
You just have to.
Yeah. And Sam, one more time, what is your website so that people can find you?
So if you just go to samspeedshop.com, you'll find the website. And then from there, we link to all the past classes. You can link to the Facebook group. You'll find everything you need there. The place even to get the $10 off your first order. You'll be all set with samspeedshop.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Kristen, no, this was great.
And
yes, this is wonderful. I will go ahead and sign off. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.